Good evening and welcome to the Channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. The US President Joe Biden has announced billions of dollars in support and investment for Africa at a summit with the continent's heads of state.
Our people lie at the heart of the deep and profound connection that forever binds Africa and the United States together.
Mr. Biden was speaking to 49 African leaders attending the Washington, D.C. meeting. It is the first such gathering, hosted by Washington for 8 years, and is seen as a US attempt to reassert its influence in Africa to counter Chinese involvement. Mr. Biden struck a very different tone to his predecessor Donald Trump, speaking optimistically of improved links with Africa.
To the people of America, to the people of the United States, to the people of Africa, and to the promise and potential of our partnership. Hear, hear.
2 Australian men behind a shootout that left 6 people dead were obsessed with guns in their youth, that's according to their father. Ronald Train, speaking for the first time since the shooting, said his sons were not monsters but had completely lost their way in life. Nathaniel and Gareth Train, along with Gareth's wife Stacey, were killed by police on Monday after they shot 2 police officers and a neighbour. Police are investigating whether they set an ambush at their remote property and their links to conspiracy theories. The European Parliament President, Roberta Metsola, has told EU leaders she would lead reforms to prevent a repeat of a corruption scandal that has rocked the Assembly. Metsola told the 27 EU leaders meeting in Brussels that information received from Belgian authorities showed there were serious suspicions that people linked to autocratic governments were seeking to subvert EU democracy.
Achieve a historical transformation of a country.
Prosecutors suspect Greek MEP Eva Kaili and 3 others accepted bribes from the World Cup host Qatar in a bid to influence European Union policymaking. Kaili and Qatar have denied any wrongdoing.
As of today, I am putting together a wide-ranging reform package to be ready in the new year. This will include a strengthening of the Parliament's whistleblower protection systems, a ban on all unofficial friendships groups, a review of the policing of our code of conduct rules, and a complete and in-depth look of how we interact with third countries.
Rescue workers have found 11 more bodies of people killed following floods in the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa. The bodies were found in the northern Montgafula district of the city, where many houses are built on hillside areas that suffered landslides. The floods have been termed the worst in years witnessed in the city. Nearly 30,000 households have been affected, with 280 homes swept away by the landslides. Peru has announced a nationwide state of emergency, granting police special powers and limiting freedoms, including the right to assembly, after a week of protests left at least 8 people dead. The protests were sparked by the ousting of the former President Pedro Castillo on December the 7th in an impeachment vote. The political upheaval has sparked angry and sometimes violent demonstrations. Protesters here in the southern town of Ica closed a highway to demand the closing of Congress. Prince Harry has described how terrifying it was to have his brother scream and shout at him when they met to discuss his and Meghan's future.
I wonder what would have happened to us had we not got out when we did.
In the latest Netflix episode, Prince Harry says it was his decision, not Meghan's, to leave the royal family.
We are on the Freedom Flight.
Buckingham Palace has not commented. And a zoo in Karachi in Pakistan has celebrated the birthdays of 2 of their most respected residents, elephants Sonia and Malika. Zoo staff decorated the elephants' compounds to celebrate their birthdays and invited an entourage of school children and government officials to sing them happy birthday. A large pink and white cake was also served up in the elephants' honour. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel studios in Lagos.